Hello and welcome to Slice of Ace. I was thinking about Slice of Ace and how I cover quite a lot of serious things. Whilst it is necessary to talk about these things, I don't want to be overly negative. So, I thought I'd inject some positivity into this channel and talk about some positives to being Ace, to being in the Ace community. So I asked my followers on Twitter what their favourite thing was about being Ace. This video is going to be me reading them out, making some short comments, and generally spreading positivity. Hope you enjoy. Special Ace Gent Rock Confidant said, not basing or assessing my relationships with people based on whether or not I can get into their bedroom. I think slightly doing Arrows a disservice because I think they think of more than just sex. But yeah. Hannah says, this includes aromanticism too. I don't have to deal with the drama of relationships. Yes, a lot of the responses I got were actually essentially arrow responses, which I don't mind. But I do have to deal with the drama of relationships, and I think you've got a good point there. It'd be easier if I didn't. PTC VBF Phoenix, she says, I have other things to say, but they're probably already hearing the replies. About Ace culture, I really like that we have the Ace ring thing. Not many Aces know about it, but I love it. It's like a secret code between the Ace community and our own mini everyday pride. Yes, I've spoken about it before, but I wear the Ace ring for myself. But a couple of times it has been recognised by other people in the Ace community or people who know about the Ace community. So it is like this secret symbol. It's really cool. Next we have S. Alleycat, who says, not being obsessed or focused on finding someone, being content and happy with friends. Once again, an arrow comment, but I think that because of the importance society places on romantic and sexual relationships, friendships can sometimes be ignored or their importance be diminished because of it. And that's really unfortunate. I think everyone should have a good circle of friends. At least 2. Jordan Brock had the best comment. They said 2 things. 1, I married my ace wife and we're happily ace together. And 2, my service dog's tail looks awesome in ace colours. And I do have to agree, this dog does look awesome. Ding Dong Ace Mum says, not having any jealousy or drama around my partner's other partners. I just love that we're all happy and have our needs understood and met. Geeky Gamer Sack said, being part of a suit that beats every other suit in a deck of cards. Oh, wrong definition of ace. Is it too late to change my answer? So, yes, that is the wrong answer. And also, I think a lot of card games, ace is also the worst card. So it just depends which card game you're playing. Britt Young says, I also feel like I have more energy and passion for my art and currently getting my masters. This is since I found my acedom. Before that I spent too much energy compensating for what I was supposed to be. Definitely. I think for a lot of people, before we come out and realise that we're asexual, that we spend a lot of time thinking that we're wrong and trying to fix it. So having the ace community and that support network and people who you can relate to helps you accept yourself and then spend your time on other things. Cragthang says, I was afraid of sexual relationships for so long, until I was old and reflected enough to say one day, nobody forces you, let them talk. And that makes me happy, to be able to live without that kind of pressure. Might have been different a few decades ago for a woman. That's why ace visibility is so important, because people need to know that there's nothing wrong with them, and it's fine if you don't want the sex. Captain Thornback said, not getting overwhelmingly distracted by seeing an attractive person. I can say, hey, they're hot, and then go to sleep at night without thinking about them again. The next comment down, the reply to that, Teal said, one time I was so distracted by my attractive dentist that I could not stop giggling. I was also 19. You have a superpower. And I have to say that that is kind of a superpower. Sometimes I wish I wasn't as distracted by guys as I am. Ginger said knowing the difference between love and lust. I'm fairly sure that most people know the difference between love and lust, but I suppose since we talk about it more in the ace community, maybe there's a better distinction we can make? I'm not sure. Emu Flight Mentor said a big bed all to myself. I am getting a big bed, and I'm going to sleep in it by myself, and then I'm going to want someone to go in the bed because I'm a homoromantic ace. KC said, our beautiful flag, our cool black ace rings, meeting other aces, knowing I'm not the only one, not being attracted to men. I can relate to all those things. Except for the last one, because men. Erica Coswig says, all related to not feeling sexual attraction. I never have sexual intentions when I touch any part of another person's body, or when I start a new friendship or romantic relationship. I really like that. I feel more innocent than others. This person says, keeping my imaginations alive and inspire my artworks. Triatial says, I think it helps me to love my friends and appreciate them more. They are my lifeline. Tiller said, I tend to give more relevance to my arrow identity, but I love how I don't feel pressured into being sexual as much as before I found this term. Now I know that I'm a whole person even without sexual attraction. And that's great, baby. I can't seriously say baby. Finding a community who accepts you and a label which fits you definitely helps to accept yourself and not waste time trying to fix what isn't broken. Spooky Scary Seratons says it's nice not to worry about friendships getting too complicated. I'm also blind to things like sexual tension, so things don't seem as awkward, I guess? It is always funny when someone says a sexual thing and it completely goes over your head and everyone's laughing and you have no idea why. Amir from Movimation, hello, says, being allo just seems like so much effort, to be honest. I liked that it gives me the brain space to think about other stuff and not have to worry about getting a girlfriend or boyfriend to please my brain's nagging. Yes, it is a lot of effort thinking about trying to get a boyfriend. Akari said the ace colours definitely. I'm arrow too, so I don't have to worry about relationships, and also how you can perceive things from a different perspective. Looking at other people in relationships is like watching a cute / interesting / frustrating / etc. documentary. Anna Grayson, not related to Robin, are you? Said the overall feeling of just being happy that I have a word to attach to how I am and how I think. I was worried when I was younger, thinking about how I didn't fit the mould, but when I discovered asexuality it became, oh, that makes sense. Uyen Thu Pham says going through puberty much faster and less dramatic than my peers because I did not have a strong / clear experience of sexual awakening or messy stuff related to that. I think I've spoken about this before, but when I went through puberty it felt like I stayed the same and everyone else was changing, and I was kind of glad for that because everyone else was doing really weird things. This person said I don't have to rely on others just to make myself happy. Good for you. Foxy V said watching on in Morbid fascination when sex sells, how much people are swayed by sexual content and how many people think it is so vitally important to their life. Then going and doing one of the many other things that I prefer doing. Definitely, the perfume adverts are the worst, and to be honest, it makes me not want to buy their cologne because it's just saying, if you have this, a mob of people will chase you like zombies. And I don't want that. Especially if they're naked. And women. Emily said, I know that my feelings for people, whatever they may be, are not based in being physically attracted to them. Chezzy said, the puns. Exactly. I cannot agree more. The puns are simply ace. Ace Problems said, more love to give to people who matter in my life, especially myself. It's quite ironic that Ace Problems replied to my tweet about what you like about being Ace. It's a bit off-brand, isn't it? Arrow Antics said the supportive community. This goes for being Arrow as well. I found this whole Ace-spec community to be very welcoming and friendly. I definitely agree. The Ace community, as I've said many times before, is the most welcoming and kind community that I have found. Emery Snowtail said that's easy. Community. Easily the most wholesome and supportive group of people in the world. Not to mention our mere presence upsets the idea that furries are nothing but horny kids and sex-obsessed maniacs. Yeah, that is really frustrating because you can't classify a whole group of people as horny and sex-obsessed, because there's gonna be people in that community, in the furry community, who aren't. Maybe they just like the aesthetic. Ruby Booby said, I'm demi, not ace, but something I enjoy about my sexuality is not being drawn to someone because of how they look. To want a relationship with someone, I have to like their personality, and generally I'll think they're attractive as I get to know them better. It's not just not being shallow either. It's just how I work. Attraction after friendship, or generally to getting to know them. I think a lot of people dismiss demisexuality because they say that's how everyone works, but it's not. They literally don't feel the sexual attraction until they've formed an emotional bond. So those were pretty much all the comments for the Twitter thingy. I will link it down below. There are some which I didn't put in because I didn't want to include more than the same person more than once. Hopefully that helps bring some positivity to your day. But if you didn't respond to my Twitter tweet, that's what it's called, the tweet, then feel free to comment below on what you like about being asexual. You can always have more positivity. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. I post videos every Saturday, so if you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe. That is all I had to say today. Have a wonderful day, and I shall see you next time. Rach. Sorry if I read these a bit weirdly. It's because my brain doesn't deal well with sentences which aren't grammatically correct.